Have you ever been so upset with your job that you just wanted to scream? I'm Karyl Innis. I'm a career expert, and I've spent my career working with thousands and thousands of men and women who have felt exactly the way you do. Suzanne is a middle manager in a mortgage company in a branch office. She has worked for this company for some number of years, at least 10. She's been a stalwart there, a hard worker, well regarded, yet she's feeling that her future is limited and she's not particularly happy in her work. She's coming in to talk about her career. I'm really happy to see you, but surprised to see you too.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I've decided that I'm quitting. I'm done.
Quitting?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Okay, so I am getting blamed for everything that is happening when it's completely out of my control. As I've talked before, I'm working from home. I'm trying to handle everything else myself. Everyone else is away from me, and I can't get what I need to get done when it's time to be done. And then I get blamed for that. And I am not being seen for the amount of work that I'm putting into this company all day, every day, for many years. I'm not being seen for that.
Suzanne walked in and within 60 seconds announced that she wanted to quit. Now, that was a bit of a surprise from Suzanne because she's worked at this company a long time and she's liked the work that she does. But it's not unusual for a client to say that they want to quit. My strategy with Suzanne was first to get her less emotional about wanting to quit. I wanted her to tell me the story and importantly, to understand if she was able to quit, meaning there are lots and lots of considerations when somebody says that they want to quit. One is money, the other is reputation. My strategy was to see that she had the time to slow down the process of quitting and see if there were ways that she could in fact quit better. And what I mean by that, preserve her reputation, not so that she's not seen as a hothead or impulsive. And the other thing is that there's money on the ground. Almost every employer, but not all, will negotiate vacation, unpaid or unearned leave time, health care benefits, and almost everybody will sell you the used laptop that you have sitting in your kitchen that they bought 3 years ago for you. And all of that's negotiable. Well, let's see what it takes to actually find the door, find the exit from the job that you're in and the circumstance that you're in.
Okay.
I want you to see the steps that have to be taken and the way you might have to do it.
Okay.
Because you will need to speak with Edward and tell him that you're quitting. And maybe this is a surprise, but I think there are things that you can negotiate on the way out the door, things that you haven't even thought about. If you were to walk in there today and say, I quit,
Mm-hmm.
You'll be leaving money on the table. You'll be leaving your reputation on the tabletop when you walk out the door.
All right.
And we want to preserve both. Before you walk in and have the I quit conversation, I'd like you to go in and have the I want conversation. Last time I met with Suzanne, she was adamant that she was going to quit. And therefore, what I wanted to do was find out, did she do that, how it went, and how she was feeling. And the second part of my plan for today was to establish a go-forward path about what she needed to do to become reemployed. You made the decision to quit,
Yes,
and it was your decision.
that's correct.
And the next step along this path is then to find a new job. And what you're telling me is, as soon as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. There's going to be a lot of work on your part. Job search is not a spectator sport. It's not something that you get to offload or redirect to somebody else. I mean, it does take effort, but there are very specific steps, very specific things that you need to do.
Okay.
How many people have you spoken to?
I think about 4 now. And with these times that I've been speaking with them, I'm telling them about how many decades, that I've been in this industry and that I've been working, and I'm not really getting the response that I feel like, that long of a time working, you would think people would be like, come on in.
Okay, well, let's just pause right there for a second, because there are 2 things that are happening there. 4 is not very many, 4 people. We'll take that to the side. Let's talk about using the number of years you've worked as a proxy for telling people how good you are. In other words, saying, I've done this for decades.
Almost 30 years for me.
And what do? 30 years plus, let's say you were 20 when you started, that makes you at least 50, and people go, I know how old she is, maybe I want someone else. We know that ageism is an issue, and possibly not for you at all. But years and decades of work are not a proxy for telling people what your impact, what your experience, and what your level of contribution is. So I would urge you, please don't add years to your resume, add impact to your resume, and add that entire discussion about who you are and what you can do and how well you've done it. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. So that's why I keep talking about having the tools that it's required.
Right.
Because until you learn to talk about what you've done and how well you've done it, rather than leaning on the number of years, you'll keep getting people going, because number of years isn't impressive anymore.
I see.
Impact is impressive, and you have plenty of things to be proud of.